Having sex does not always equate to having babies.
But it does.
It is
Stop lying. It does. How many baby mamas are out there?
Okay. The question was about sexual liberation.
Sex,
Sexual
baby.
liberation. Okay. Go ahead.
Because you about to say some bullshit. That don't make no sense what you trying to say. Sex don't equal babies?
Hold on. Let me
Now let Bo talk.
Wait.
Hold on, Bo.
Let me press pause.
Hold on, Bo. I got you, Bo. Bo, hold on.
God damn.
Because I ain't never cussed at nobody.
Bo,
and y'all finna baby.
Lady die.
Has nothing to do with having babies. Having babies and being a single mother or a couple is completely aside from sexual liberation. Having sex does not always equate to having babies.
But it does.
It is
Stop lying. It does. How many baby mamas are out there?
Okay. The question was about sexual liberation.
Sex,
Sexual
baby.
liberation. Okay. Go ahead.
Because you about to say some bullshit. That don't make no sense what you trying to say. Sex don't equal babies?
Hold on. Let me
Now let Bo talk.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on, Bo.
Let me press pause.
Hold on, Bo. I got you, Bo. Bo, hold on.
God damn.
Because I ain't never cussed at nobody. And y'all finna baby.
Lady die. This is a panel, right? You got to let her get out her thought before you rebut it. You can't shut down her thought just because you think that you're going to disagree. We have no issues with you disagreeing with what she's about to say, but you got to let her say it. You can't stop her and say what you about to say is some bullshit, so therefore we're going to walk right over it. Let her say it. Then, mic back on you. You can rebut it and give your own opinion on it. But we got to allow people to respect to be able to get their thoughts out. Because that's how y'all wind up arguing with each other and going back and forth. And now we can't hear none of y'all. So go ahead, Bo.
To answer the question no more.
So go ahead, Bo.
I'm sorry.
Here's my thing. And I don't want to answer the question no more. Because I don't come up here and disrespect nobody. I don't come up here just arbitrarily interrupting nobody. And I don't want that done to me. Because if you want disrespect, I can dish it out. I got plenty of it. But I come with respect first.
Ooh.
And if you set the tone and if you set the precedent, then now we disrespecting people, we can do it. But I want to respect you. I came with disrespect. I ain't never said nothing that you said was bullshit. So I would like if you didn't do that to me.
You've been talking behind your breath the whole mic.
No more.
If we replay it, you be talking a whole bunch of stuff with your mic off.
Do not talk to me.
You've been talking a lot of stuff with your mic off. You do know that. And we can see you mouthing. It's the same thing. I just said it out loud. What the fuck is the difference? Nothing. So you can answer the question. I didn't stop you from talking. Meaning you can't answer it. I just said what you about to say some BS, but it does not mean that you cannot say what you have to say. People say I say stuff that's BS all the time. That's not going to stop me from talking.
We're not going to do it. That's it. That's all. I'm done with you.
Damn. All right, Papaya, you're up next. Ready? Fight.
Yeah, I'm not fighting with nobody. I'm
just kidding.
Yeah,
go ahead. Welcome aboard, by the way.
Thank you.
You know what? Your name sound familiar. I think you was on TikTok.
The one and only Papaya off of TikTok for sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. I came up here because my beautiful sister Bo came to visit me, and she actually spoke highly of a few of you, not all of you. I won't lie to you. And so I thought that I would come on, definitely support her.
Oh, hell no. You gonna have to tell us who she spoke highly of then.
It wasn't you, friend.
Thank God. Okay. If she speak highly of me, it means I'm doing something wrong.
I would just know she's lying to me, and I feel like our friendship is more than that. But I wanted to interject. I came in a little later and a little past the conversation. It was about the generations that engaged in what they would consider debauchery because it's a younger generation. I wanted to circle back to that. I have a lot of beautiful matriarchs in my family, beautiful women, pioneers. But I would definitely say learned behavior started from them, good and bad. But I think the biggest issue that I have is that they don't want to acknowledge the bad behavior that they pass down to us. And sometimes that bad behavior is done from their survival and their trauma. And they don't even know it's bad behavior. And then they get older and they see us do it and they're like, we didn't used to do that. And it's like, Freaknik specifically was a time, right? And I think when older women fail to acknowledge the part that they played in the bad behavior, it makes the younger women of my generation and Gen Z, feel like they can also lack accountability for the things that they do. And I think fixing behavior started at like acknowledging that they are perpetuators of bad behavior. Because not all older women, but I definitely see older women behaving in ways that I would find distasteful. But if you ever brought it up to them, they would be like, no, I don't do that. But they're the ones wasting money on men, younger men, being side women, being happy with that, chasing after married men. They baby mamas too. And it's just walks of life. And so I think I just wanted to interject on that conversation. I just wish older women would acknowledge their parts. And so we could all start to bridge the gap respectfully. But when you constantly hear, no, not me, never, it's like, okay, well, you're delusional and that's okay. People
Right.
are allowed to be
I
delusional.
do
I
want to
let
answer
people be
that.
delusional in their
Yeah, I
own
do
way.
want to answer that because I am older and I can concede to what you're saying. There are some older women who are not, they are not correcting their traumas, but I can concede to part to what she's saying. Right. There are some older women, but let me just say it wasn't a majority of women going to Freaknik. People like me was in salons making money. But I will say that we can only hold ourselves accountable for what? It's only so much we can do. If we're not raising our children to be better versions than us, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. We are. I can't tell you how to act as a younger woman because I don't know you. You're not in my household, but I can teach my sons to be husbands, which they are. I can teach them that, which the dad did. So we did our part through our children. We should have. But I can be honest with you, I didn't raise, and I'm glad a woman spoke of this earlier today. I did not raise my kid with trauma. I did not sit down and tell my kids stories of things that I did back in the day. I just raised them to be better. That's it. Sitting around saying, well, somebody touched me when I was young or somebody, and I never spread that trauma to them. That's not their responsibility. Your trauma is your responsibility. So we don't have to teach you anything but better. That's it. I have to teach you anything but better. That's it. That's it. So the thing is, we can only teach you so much because at the time you got to understand your kids are going to come for you too. Okay. Because there's always going to be something that you did not do. That's just life. We feel like our parents didn't have to do something. They thought that the silent generation didn't have to do something. Your kids are going to come for you. Because you only know what's going on now. You only function in the now. You don't know what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30 years when your kids are also grown saying, hey, mom, because times have changed. And they can be like, well, hey, my mama didn't teach me this, or my mama and my dad didn't teach me this. They're going to come for you too. It's not about us, Gen X or silent generation or baby boom messing up stuff. Every generation go after the previous generation.
I have to leave, not to cut you off, but I really can't hear you.
Okay.
And so I want to have the conversation.
Yeah,
I
go
can't
ahead.
hear, so I'm gonna leave and then come back, and I hope it's fixed.
Yeah, I had that issue earlier. That's why I kept dropping out earlier. But I just want to let y'all know every generation gonna come for the previous generation. I don't care who you are. They're gonna have some questions for you. But I will say to minimize that is to not raise your kids in your traumas. In your traumas. That's where the abuse comes from. That's where the come from.
I mean, not Lady. I'm sorry, Dr. Lady up. But can't you understand how it's rare for a woman to be able to, even though she may have not succeeded at certain things or things transpired in her life, you're still able to hold the line and say, hey, look, marriage, all of these things that people are seeking after, it's still good to go after them. Versus the women who become jaded.
Well, my kids saw a two-parent home, and although me and my ex-husband parted ways and he remarried, he'd been married 20-something years, they saw the best co-parenting relationship between us. I never alienated him. I never said he could never see his children. I don't care if he couldn't pay child support. That was not the problem because I knew his time was going to suffice everything in raising kids. That was the best for me. They did not see that. Even now, me and my ex-husband, we talked for Father's Day for an hour and a half, laughing and joking, talking about how hot-headed we was when we were young and married. That's what we built. So that's why when people say you're a failure, baby, I'm nowhere near failure because I have corrected whatever issues that I did when I was younger. Trust me.
But just because you failed at it doesn't mean that you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
I don't have with that ex-husband. because I missed some of what you said, Lady O. But the gripe that I have with that, and I will include you in this, Darwin, is that we give so much forgiveness when we feel like we can relate to someone's failures, but when someone who we can't relate to their failures, we have no room for forgiveness. Because while what Lady O said was great, I also know that salons were messy and they gossiped in salons and they gave bad advice in salons like they did barbershops.
That was some though.
And
Yeah.
I also know that the older generation they may not have sat down and be like, oh, I was touched as a child, but they oftentimes protected the uncles that were touching the children that they were supposed to protect. So when we're having this conversation, the reason that I feel like this conversation lacks a lot of dishonesty, and not towards you specifically, we're even in saying like, oh, it wasn't the majority of women at Freaknik. Freaknik wasn't filled by majority of men.
Oh, for sure.
It was women up there with 5-6 hands down their shorts living their best life. And it's okay that you don't tell your daughter, go do that.